Hey everybody, and welcome to Book Chat with Tracie and Lashell. I am Tracie. Lachelle's over there somewhere. We'll get to her in a minute. Um, um, and this is your little pre-interview warning. I am sick, so that's why I sound like really, really bad. And Lachelle's really, really excited about something that's going on in her life, so she's a little wired tonight. And then we have Leanne. Oh, no, see? We have Anna Parks, who I like to call Leanne because that's her name. We have Anna Parks, who is joining us tonight on the show for our author interview. I'm going to pass it over to Lachelle, let her say hello, and then you can go ahead and introduce our guest.
Okay, hi, I'm Lashell, and I'm a little loopy tonight, and that's because tomorrow I'm going to go to a concert and see my favorite guys, and so I'm excited about that. Leanne, I'm sorry, Anne.
Let's just get it out of the way.
Is that a problem for you? Because, you write in multiple names, correct?
I do. My real name is Leanne, so anybody can call me that.
Okay, because that's probably going to happen a lot tonight by accident, so just get that out of the way.
We're up to 2 or 3 times already, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just jump right in. Can you tell us how long you've been writing, and did you always know you wanted to be an author?
Well, yeah, I guess I didn't ever write down my stories. I always had stories kind of bouncing around in my head and characters, and kind of thought I was insane, so I never thought about writing them down or telling anybody because I didn't want to end up in the loony bin. And then then I went to college and took some creative writing courses and started writing short stories and things like that. And so I figured out that I'm not crazy for that reason, maybe for other reasons. But yeah, then I kind of tossed it around and didn't really think that I could actually publish anything. And so I decided to go to law school and go that route and did that. And then I ended up marrying a guy in the Navy, and he moves around too much, and he keeps moving to states that don't have reciprocity for the bar exam. So when we got to Maryland, I had already taken the bar exam like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, I'm done. I'm not taking it here. So,
wow.
So then I started writing, and I'm really glad I did. I think this is where I was supposed to be. I mean, I loved being in law, and my books definitely, have a legal theme to them, most of them. So, but it was time, and it was a good time for me to start writing.
I never think about, the fact that lawyers have to take that exam in different states. I just think, you take it once and you're set.
Yeah, that would be really nice. And sometimes you can, depending on the state you go to, but every state is different. And so I just happen to go to states where they, like California, which, they're kind of picky, and then Maryland and
Gotcha.
so I took it in Colorado and Minnesota too, but it doesn't translate and doesn't pass, and so I was like, I'm not taking this again. It's a horrible test.
So, random question. It has nothing to do with your writing, but now I'm curious. You've said you've taken it in California and Colorado. If you wanted to go back and practice law there, is that something that you have to retake now, or you're good to go?
I would have to look. Probably I'd have to take part of it because I haven't kept up with my continuing education requirements, so I would have to take part of it, but I don't think I will ever go back and practice law again. So.
Oh no, I was being nosy, and it's all good.
Yeah, no, yeah, you can't, you have to keep up with it, and so I would probably, I don't know, I'd have to research each state's rules, and I've never done that, but probably have to take at least a portion of it.
Okay.
Very cool.
Okay, so Tracie and I debate about this all the time because we're total opposites, and so whenever we talk to another author, we always want to know what your writing process is like. Are you a plotter or a pantser?
I'm a total plotter. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I can't. I can't. If I had to pants it, I'd freak out and have an anxiety attack. So
That's me.
Plotter, and I have various like tools of plotting, and depending on what I'm writing, because since I write in 2 genres. But yeah, I have like 3 different things. Of course I do the goal, motivation, conflict, work that out, and then I found a process called writing from the middle, and that works really well for me because it asks me a bunch of questions of, that I wouldn't have thought about, and things like that. So it kind of helps develop the story and where I'm going, and then it took me forever when I started writing mysteries under the non-romance of figuring out a system because since I know the outcome, but I have to leave clues, but I can't. It's kind of weird. So I have a system of Post-it notes that I can move around, and each character and events have different colors, and so I can move them around, and that took me about 3 weeks to figure out how to do that. So yeah, but and then once I start writing, I mean, of course, things change when you start writing and everything, and so I think I like to think there's a little bit of pantser in there when I start to write, but yeah, no, I'm total plotter.
I feel like it holds true that everybody has a little bit of both in them, because I feel like in order to have an idea, to have a story idea, and to start writing something, you're already plotting something. Then once you get into a story, no matter how hardcore plotter you are, things are going to change, and you kind of have to go by the seat of your pants. So even though I hate to admit it, I think everybody's a happy mix. They just lean a little more toward one.
I agree. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think you have to have a basic premise of what the story is and where it goes. I mean, just because the characters, scream it at you, and you're like sitting there, and I mean, at least for me, when an idea hits me, it's kind of like running through a movie. Whether or not that's the way it ends up, it's still this like, oh, and then this happens, and then that happens, and oh yeah, and then this, and then you're like, yay! And so, I mean, and then when you sit down to write it, and then you're looking at the blank screen going, now, what the hell? What was that? What was I thinking? And yeah, so I agree. I think there's a little bit of both.
Okay, I actually have to look at my iPad in order to read my notes because my printer didn't want to work. I got it right. I wanted to talk a little bit about your main character of Demons and Stones, because she's a high-powered attorney, and she's very quick-wit and cute and all that jazz. So we already know that a lot of her background obviously came from you. So I'm really just kind of curious, how much of yourself and your background did you put into Kylie?
Gosh, I wish I was as cool and strong as Kylie. But yeah, I love her, and yeah, I mean, I think that when I started writing her, I felt a real kind of connection with her. I don't know, yeah, the quick wit, there's like lots of things, like I'm a big wine drinker, she likes wine, but I think for the most part that it's not me at all. I'm going to throw that out there. It's not me. I think that I was able to write her so well because I do understand how things would work in a law firm, and so I was able to write that easily. I know I had a lot of people when I was having it beta read and edited that they were like, lawyers don't talk like this, and I'm like, you've never been in a law firm when there's no clients around. You can't imagine how. Yeah, this is exactly how they talk. They're not, when they get out in the public eye or in court and stuff, they have another persona. But yeah, it is, So that came from me. But most of her story is kind of through the progression of the 3 books, we'll find out more about her background, but she didn't have the best background. And I mean, I grew up in a middle-class family, so none of that is the. I have a connection with her, but she's not me, and I'm not her, and so it just kind of happens that the quick wit and stuff like that is what her and I have in common. That helps it all.
Yeah, it really does.
So
and I'm not very Alex Stone. So, so yeah.
No billionaire, huh?
Outside, so.
Well, to be fair, we don't have billionaires of our own either. So.
No, we don't. So can you tell us where the idea for the Tri-Stone trilogy came from?
I have no idea. Oh my god! It's crazy. It just kind of popped into my head. I had been reading a lot, and it just kind of hit me, this character, and because when I first started writing seriously, I had a completely different story that I was going to write, actually two, and neither one of them have turned into anything that right now that I could actually. One of them I don't even have anything written on. The other one I think I have one chapter on, but they just didn't, after a while, they just didn't speak to me. And then all of a sudden, man, Alex and Kylie just jumped in my head and would not shut up. And so I'm not really sure where they came from. So it was just timing, I guess. And I really don't know. I've thought about it a lot, and I'm just like, I just think it was time for me to start writing, and so they came out, and that's
awesome. Yeah. So at RWA this year, you were telling us that Of Demons and Stones was like super, super, super important to you, and obviously every one of us write books, so we always say, oh, our books are really important to us because they're like our babies, but you kind of alluded to this one being super special to you, and I'm kind of curious why, and if it turned out the way you were hoping that it would.
Yeah, well, it harkens back to what I was saying. It was my first one. In October of 2012, it just kind of hit me, and I sat down and I started writing it, and by the end of November, I had 120,000 words. I mean, I wrote all the time. My family was like, what in the world? I'm like, I just have to write. I just need to write this down and get it out. And, I mean, the characters have just always stuck with me no matter what I was doing. So I got done with it, and I didn't even send it to an editor, and I did not know anything. I knew nothing about what I was doing. I knew nothing about publishing. I didn't know anything. And I happened to come across this this Amazon Breakthrough Novel Award that was accepting entries at the cutoff was like the end of January or something. And so I had my best friend and my husband read it for me several times, and then I submitted it. And I mean, it was crazy. I'm like, what am I doing? And it went to the quarterfinals, and so I was like stoked about that. So I don't know, but it does not look the way it is now. The storyline is the same. A lot of the things in it kind of changed. I was pinged on how much sex I had in there that had nothing to do with the story. So, and of course that was a newbie thing. So I just kind of went through and was like, okay, so I'll take out some of the sex and did that. And then for a little while, I thought maybe I'd take it out of romance completely and try it under my other pen name, which is non-romance. But I just didn't. It just the main part of this book is this relationship between Alex and Kylie, and so you can't take the romance out of it. It just didn't work, and so I went back, and it just was one of those things of I don't want to put it out there until I'm absolutely ready, and I don't think I'm absolutely ready, and so I was like holding on to it, and finally my best friend was just like, would you please publish this book? And so I finally did, and yeah, it is the way that I want it to be. I think I love it. I love the story. I love the characters. I love all of the characters in it. I mean, all of them. I love Ryan and Paul and their relationship with Kylie. I love the relationship between Jake and Alex, and how Lisa is kind of coming into the mix a little bit and stuff. I just love all of them. So.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So, Leanne, you write wonderful second chance romantic suspense with your Return to Me series. You're welcome. But your dream is actually to write straight up mystery, thriller, suspense type books, right? Not romance. Is that correct?
Yeah, I love writing mysteries and thrillers. And I kind of went into romance thinking that, well, I'll learn the business, and then if I mess up, I'm under a different pen name, and so nobody will know who I am and stuff. And then I fell in love with writing romance and thought, I mean, oddly, I was so new and so inexperienced that I thought, well, I'll learn this business in like a year, and then I can go over to the other side and I'll be like mega, successful because I'll know everything. And yeah, so that was back in 2012, 2013. It's 2015. I still don't know anything. I'm like, what am I doing? I have a computer here. What am I doing? I think I write. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, I love writing the mysteries. I think that is where I am meant to write. I love them. The stories come so easily to me. I can see them. I can write them. I mean, of the people that I've had beta, the one mystery that I have out. I don't have it out. It's with my editor, but that one, the people that I've had read that have said, this is the best thing you've ever written. This is where you're supposed to be. So, and I have so much fun writing it. So, of course, I spend most of my time watching investigation Discovery channels.
Yeah, I feel like you just, when you get that feeling like you were just describing, you just know. That's how I tried writing a contemporary women's romance once, and it was such a struggle for me. But I went right back to young adult, and it felt as good as it did the first time. And I'm like, I have to stay here. This is where I belong. It's where I'm at. I'm happy here, and I think that's what's happening with you.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I have to ask. Once you make that move and that transition into writing mystery and suspense and thriller, do you plan to write romance anymore, or are you done?
No, I still have the trilogy, so I have to finish that up so that people don't hunt me down and kill me, especially because of the way I left it. But yeah, so the summer of 2016 will be the second book in the Demons or Tristone trilogy, and then 2017 will be the final book in the trilogy. I cannot imagine with how in love with romance and love and things like that. I can't imagine that I wouldn't continue to write. I just won't write on the same level as I am now. I mean, I won't put out as much. I'd like to put out like one a year, which is what I'm kind of going down. I mean, last year was an insane year, putting out the entire Return to Me series, and then of course working on the anthology with Lashell and Annie and Dina. And then I went straight into, trying to work on Of Demons and Stones and making sure that was ready to go in July, and then working on putting a story together for a box set. And it was just like, this is insane, and I can't, my family is starting to really hate me. They're like, there's a demon in the other room, and we need to call for an exorcism or something because it's not mom. And so I was just mad all the time. I was just like, just leave me alone. I need to write. I need to do this, and I hate marketing, but I have to do that, and it's taking away from my writing. And so you people just need to like go and make hamburger sandwiches, and I don't care. And then I had a reality slap in the face, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right. My first job is mom, where I'm supposed to be loving and nurturing, and I mean, as much as it can be, but it's like still okay, whatever. But so yeah.
Calling out to my mom, if you're watching the show, Leanne needs an exorcism, so hook her up. Hook the girl up. Lashell, I think it's the ball's in your court.
Okay, so getting back to the trilogy, because it is a trilogy.
It is.
Do you and knowing how, a lot of readers feel about cliffhangers, did you feel like you were taking a big risk ending the book on such a huge cliffhanger?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I struggled with that one, and I even had an ending that was written and that went past the cliffhanger, and it was just, I hated it. I was just like, that's not where it ends. It has to end where it ended. And so
Really?
yeah, and so I talked to a couple people, and they were just like, that had read it, and they were like, no, you have to, that's where the book ends, that's where you should end it.
Really? I gotta be honest. I was reading and I was like, what? Are you freaking kidding me?
Oh, she dropped an F-bomb.
Yeah, so
So sorry.
I was a little surprised.
If I had gone on and written and published the part that I wrote, I really felt that it was going to be kind of a blah ending. It was going to be, oh yay, it's all wrapped up nice in a little bow, and so why should we read the second book? And I didn't write it so that people would, go, oh, now we got to read the second book, because I know it, kind of messes with people, and they get upset, and they're just like, I can't believe this. And I'm mad, and I'm not going to read the second book just because you did that to me. But it just felt too, I don't know, it just didn't feel genuine to the characters. It didn't feel genuine to the story. And I mean, I had waited this long to publish it. I mean, almost, 3 years to publish it. And I was like, this is where it ends. This is it. I mean, there's got to be this holy crap, what just happened? And they finally
exactly
make it
how it felt.
through. What the heck? And so yeah, so sorry.
I mean, I don't think I have published a book that wasn't ending on a cliffhanger unless it was the final book of a series.
Wow.
So, I mean, girls got to do what girls got to do.
Yep. I'll take the shots.
Okay. So, yeah, like going on that same note of Lashell's last question, what can you tell us, if anything, about the remaining books in your series? Have you started writing your second book? I don't know if you've already mentioned. I know you said it's coming out in the summer of next year, but I'm okay. I'm spacing. So anyway, what can you share with us about how your process is going for writing the rest of that series?
Well, when I got book 1 written, I immediately plotted 2 and 3. Okay. It just came to me that of course wasn't where it ended, and I needed to go on, and there was a lot of unanswered questions, because you only get a bit of where Kylie's background is, and not much until the very end of Alex's. So the book 2 is really going to be more of it. It's more about Alex's background, and then some things about Kylie's background come back to haunt, and in a really horrid way. But you're going to learn more about her childhood through that too, and some of the things and why she is so close to Paul and Ryan, because of some things that happened with her while she was at college that they helped her through, that weren't really, I mean, there was an allusion to, they're really close because they all hung out together and they were gay when gay wasn't cool, and so but there's a lot more to that story. And then the third book is just mind-boggling. I can tell you that there will not be any type of breakup between them, but there is going to be this massively huge, horrible thing that happens, and
Somebody's dying.
It's going to. It's really going to rock some. It really tests them a lot. It tests them a lot, and so. And I think that that's important. I think that, after a while, you can't have the whole, oh, we love each other so much and we're so meant to be together and we can make it through anything, and then something comes along and they're just like, except for this I can't make it through, and then they break up. In every book they break up over something, and it's just kind of like, really?
Why can't that be how it is in the book? Because that's how it is in real life. Like,
yeah, right, because I often go out to my husband and go, you know what, so your dirty socks all over the floor, that is just the topper. We've had this discussion, and I'm done.
Deal breaker. I'm done.
I don't like your dirty socks all over the place.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Okay.
yeah, plotted. Book 2 is being written now. So.
Yay! Okay, so you are always so stinking busy. I actually just took a road trip to see you. I'm in Ohio, and you were in Kentucky, even though you live in Maryland. So I took a road trip to see you last weekend. But you're always so busy, and you're going places like to promote your books or for book signings or conferences, and it blows my mind. Like, how do you find time to actually write your books and edit your books and do the actual business part of your business while you're...
I fail at the business part of my business so often because I'm like, I'm off running around from here to there, and yeah, I'm at the book signings and stuff, and so that's good promotion for my books. And then I go to the conferences to try and learn how to manage, the business side with the writing side and how to be a better writer. And then I get home and forget everything that I learned at the conference, except for like some of the writing tips. But yeah, when it comes to, and Lashell and I, we've had this discussion a lot of, the marketing that goes into it, and it's just kind of like, oh my gosh, I hate being on Facebook just to promote my books.
Yeah.
And then I try to go on there and say something, cool about myself, and because that's not easy to do. But then I'm sitting there and I'm on Facebook and I'm going through and I'm like, I should be writing. What in the world am I doing? Scrolling through my timeline and
taking a quiz on something.
Yeah, those quizzes are fun though.
We all need to know who
so
our
much stuff that I didn't know about myself.
Yeah, like, we need to know who our Facebook soulmates are. That's just all there is to it.
I find out and then I don't like them, and then I'm like, right, soulmate, so I don't share it.
I did one, but then I decided not to share it for a million reasons.
I do them all the time and don't share them.
Yep. I love them. If it doesn't come out the way I want it, I'm like, they're so wrong. And so then I
know me.
Like, yeah. I'm like, no.
Is my evil twin, which I actually believe.
Oh yeah.
Really? Your evil twin.
Big on my.
I like it.
Okay. So moving forward. Obviously, we know to look forward to the next 2 books and your trilogy. But what else? You said you had a mystery that's off with your editor right now. What else can we look forward to hitting the digital shelves soon?
Well, I don't. I mean, definitely the rest of the Tri-Stone trilogy. I'm really working hard on the mystery. It's a 5-book mystery right now, and it's kind of. It's the coolest thing I've ever written. I love this story.
Are they standalones?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to ask.
No, they are not. It's like a serial. So it's almost kind of like a TV show, and it chronicles this one woman who is an FBI agent, and she kind of teams up with this Denver City police detective who is investigating a murder, and they start working together, and they're following this serial killer. And so each book is a different murder by this serial killer. And it's
cool.
Insane. It's so much fun, and trying to come up with new little twists and things that, it's fun.
Pick me. I have a question.
Yes.
I got really excited when you said it's about this woman who teams up with this. Okay, is this a romance too?
No.
Is there any romance?
No, there is no romance.
I can't handle that.
Oh, wow.
But
you know what, Tracy? I was thinking romance too. She did say that, didn't she?
I was like, if I hear boy and girl, I'm like,
Oh no, but they do. I mean, they have this connection that is non-romance, and it comes from kind of their past, but they don't realize it right away, and it's really it's fun. But they just kind of forge this friendship and stuff because neither one of them is really looking for anything, and they're both so centered on finding well, in the first book, they just know that it's a murderer. They don't realize that it's a serial killer until the kind of the end. But how they come through that and figure it out, and all of the people that they go through that they suspect, and it's very personal to her name is Kendall, and so it's very personal to Kendall, and then they kind of by chance figure out how they have this connection to each other through another case, and they're just like, whoa, and then things start clicking, and so then it moves on, and they kind of continue to work together in the next books trying to find the serial killer.
I'm excited to read it. It sounds awesome.
I love it. It's so much fun. It's the cool and I can't even remember how I came up with the idea, but it was just like bing, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is cool. I got to write this, and so yeah.
Apparently, that's where all of her ideas. That's like the way all of her ideas happen. They're like bing.
I know. It's like ping, go right. All the time, it's just like I'll be walking along, and all of a sudden I'll be like ping. Oh. Get the heck out of my family. They're like, what? Nothing. Just story idea.
Yeah, I was at a baseball game. I was at a baseball game a couple months ago, and I'm like, pen. I need a pen.
I finally got a little notepad to go in my purse because I was just like, all right, because I mean, yeah, I have a note app on my phone, but do I ever remember to do that? No, because I hate typing on my phone. I don't know how people can do that. So yeah, I don't do that. It's horrible.
So we have a lightning round of questions for you that I'm going to actually let Lashell take over. But before we do that, I feel like I need to tell you, I in no way, shape, or form had anything to do with any of these lightning round questions. And, okay. That's all I want to say because I'm kind of mad. I'm kind of mad about one of them. So
I'm so excited.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Cake or pie?
Cake. But by a slim by a very slim margin cake, just because I love frosting. But pie.
Okay. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Morning person or night owl?
All the above.
Really depends on what part of the day I took my meds. Whether or not they keep me up at night or if I take them early in the morning, then I'm good. But I'm typically a morning person. I get up really early.
Okay.
And out the kids and husband out the door, and I'm not starting on my day. So.
Rock or country?
Rock. Ew. Country. Ew. Rock.
Bad boys with tattoos or without?
Okay, so with tattoos, but not like completely covered, just like some really nice, maybe a tribal tattoo here, something over here, but not like completely covered,
Did anybody else just see the ghost in Leanne's house? Did anybody else see that?
I saw it. It's like a thread right there.
And Bessie, he's come to visit.
It's still there.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
And
aliens. Aliens. Do they exist or not?
We know ghosts do.
We know ghosts do it. At least
that would probably be a yes if you've ever met my family. We have one of my brothers believes that he was abducted by aliens.
Cool.
Yeah. So he swears by them. We don't really talk that much, mostly because I, don't speak the same language as him anymore. Because he speaks English. So Yeah,
Okay.
I have twin brothers, and I kept telling my mom that yeah, I think you were abducted when you were pregnant. They're nothing like me. So yeah. So.
I think we lost Tracie. I don't know what that's about.
You did. I need to.
Abducted her.
I feel like I should explain, but then I don't want to. You made me laugh so hard I had to go blow my nose.
Okay, last question, and this is the one that Tracie takes offense to.
I do.
Okay, Nathan Fillion or Matthew Morrison?
Okay, so I always have a soft spot for Nathan Fillion just because he was in a soap opera I used to watch.
Oh.
But yeah, Matthew Morrison. So I think he kind of gets the edge because Matthew Morrison. I mean, he's hot. He's hot.
Yeah.
Okay. Tracie, you want to answer that question?
No. I think you asking me to answer that question is like me saying, "Hey, Lashell, when you meet Todd Kearns, kick him in the groin." Like, that's what the equivalent is to me. Like, it's just not possible. Like, it's just not a possibility. Okay.
Alrighty, let's move on to plugs. That's our episode book chat, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll leave it at that.
Visual there. I went from being really in love with having Nathan Fillion and Matthew Morrison here with me to seeing Todd Kearns kicked in the groin.
I'm just saying that's not even kind of a possibility. Todd Kearns, if you're watching this video.
Yes, because we know you will be. Cause
I do not wish you any harm. My best friend loves you. So I'm just saying.
Moving right along.
Making a point. Okay, so moving right along. We're going to go ahead and do some plugs. Actually, no. How about we do what we're currently...
Todd Kearns, I would not kick you in the groin ever.
God. Lashell, I'm so sorry.
I just want to say Tracie's on medication. She's on cold medication right now.
Oh my gosh, really? You're going to try and make use for her?
Huh?
Huh? Go ahead. What are we plugging? What?
Okay. I'm thinking maybe I should take over wrapping up this interview tonight.
No, I got it. So I thought we'd go ahead and talk about what we're currently reading or what we would like to recommend before we do plugs. I thought we would save that for the end. So.
Okay.
So Lashell, if you want to kick off what you're currently reading or what you would like to recommend for the viewers.
I am not currently reading anything, but I just finished Slave to Sensation by Nalini Singh, and it's amazing. She's amazing. I have a girl crush on her now.
Oh.
Aww.
She's amazing. Did I say that?
You said that, but I agree.
Cool.
Okay, Anne?
Thank you. So I'm looking forward to reading my friend's newest release because I love Ethan. It might be Lashell's book. Might be
this book.
It could be.
Shameless plug.
Shameless.
I see. I was holding my Kindle version.
Oh, see.
Awesome.
You don't have mine up. I also would love to recommend, I want to read Mia Sheridan's newest release, Grayson's Vow, because I just love her and she's wonderful and fabulous, and I've read everything she's ever written, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. So.
I'm actually almost finished with The Smoking Gun. It disappeared, which is Lashell's latest release, and anyone who knows me knows that I absolutely love everything she writes, and not because I love her, but because she's incredible. I actually wrote in my notes that I wanted to recommend The Smoking Gun by the Queen of Romance, which is Lashell.
But now you guys are making my head swell.
She did not pay us to say these things.
I did not pay them to say these things.
No, but I am almost finished with it, and I've absolutely loved every book in that series, and the fact that I'm getting to revisit that family and this novel is super exciting. So, she doesn't know this yet, but we're going to be doing a
God.
special edition of Book Chat before the end of the year where we're going to talk about her newest release, and I'm going to interview her. So I will put that on the website as soon as I get her to agree to this, and we will do that. I need somebody else to take over because I'm talking a lot.
Let's let her.
Okay, Leanne, do you you want to start plugs? Do you have anything you want to plug besides of Demons and Stones? I mean, you can feel free to plug that if you want.
Yeah. Well, I have a couple. I mean, you know, there is this beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. He's beautiful. My cover model, Stephen Landers. Landers, and he's wonderful, and he will be on all of my book covers. But yeah, so there's this, and then there's this little book that I was in a part of that is a big book called Elemental, and it might be part of a. I may be writing it, or I have written it with my little friend here, Lashell, and two other wonderful, fabulous people. It is the only paranormal I've ever written, and I loved it, and so go check it out because it's an interesting story.
Also, while we're thinking about it, Michelle, last week Leanne gave me 2 books that I was supposed to give you that were signed Elementals books, and I forgot to give them to you, so I have those.
Yeah, here's your Elementals.
All right, thanks. Good to know.
Good to know. For plugs this month, I'm actually really excited about this plug because I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of those Facebook takeovers that authors are doing where they're promoting their work and they're giving away lots of pretty things. Usually they're books, which are pretty things. Anyway, I just participated in my first one, and I'm participating in my second one on October 26th for Elizabeth Barone's newest release. It'll be at the end of the month, called Savannah's Song, and it actually falls on the 26th from 7 to 10, and I'm going to be taking over her Facebook page from 8:30 to 9, and I'm really excited about that, and here's why you guys need to come and join us, other than the fact that you can win awesome stuff. Elizabeth Barone's joining us just a handful of days later on Book Chat. So not only do you need to stop by the release party, you know, to get fun, free things, but you need to stop by the release party and get to know Liz really well because she's going to be joining us on our next Book Chat, and she's really awesome, and I have a girl crush, so I'm really excited about that. So, Lashell.
Well, I was going to plug The Smoking Gun, which is
We already
number
did.
6 in the Kelly family series, but you guys have done that beautifully. So I do have a story coming out in a box set called Alpha Shifter Seductions, and I'm sorry, that is not the correct title.
That's what I just wrote down. I just wrote it down, and it's in ink. You ruined my note.
I told you that I was a little loopy, did I not? I told you that because I'm very excited.
You're not the one on meds.
What? No, I'm not the one on this. This is very true. But just hang on a minute and I will get you the proper title because I'm not thinking. Oh, that's right. It is Alpha Shifter Seductions. Okay, I'm really... I'm sorry. Okay, the thing is, I was in another one that just went on sale, and now that sale is ending, but it was a different title.
Okay, so touching on that, you just
Okay.
what are you
It's a box set. It's paranormal, shifter romance, Alpha Shifter Seductions, and it's with other authors, other shifter romance authors like Kiki Howe and D.G. Shaw and Phoenix Johnson, and it's really sexy and really fun.
Are these novels?
No, they're novellas, short stories type thing.
Okay.
But that releases on the 29th of this month.
Okay. Anywhere ebooks are sold?
Anywhere ebooks are sold.
Love it. Okay, is everybody, everybody plugged. Okay, so I think that's about time for us to wrap up the show then, unless I missed something. Like I said, next month on October 30th, we're going to be talking to Elizabeth Barone. I'm really, really excited about that.
Tracy's really excited.
I am. I'm nerding really hard because she was like the first writer friend that I had when I first started this, and she holds a very, very special place in my heart, and I was jumping up and down and screaming like a little girl when she actually said that she would come and join us on Book Chat, so I'm really excited. So anyway, and then in November, we're going to be bringing you, I think, our first book spotlight.
She thinks.
Well, this is why I think, because we actually have to agree on a book that we're going to spotlight, and it has to be something that we both really love. And the problem is we both love such different things that finding some common ground may be difficult, so we're working on it. So anyway, November should be our book spotlight, and if something changes, we'll let you know. So to be announced. And then from December and January, we're taking a winter hiatus, and we're kicking off season 2 in February. So really, we just 2 more shows for the year, and that's it. So Leanne or Ann L. Parks, however you would like to Leanne L. Parks. Does that work? Thank you so much for coming and being on the show tonight. I wish that I would have had half as much energy as Lashell had. And
I wish that my brain had been working, but it's kind of preoccupied with other things.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'm good.
And so before we
I'm fine carrying the show for you guys. No problem at all.
Book chat with Tracie, Lashell, and Leanne. Before we close the show, I wanted to wish a happy birthday to Eric. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Eric.
Happy birthday, Eric.
Yeah. So anyway, good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next month.
Good night.